What goals did you set for 2025? If better sleep is one, Symbiotica's magnesium L-threonate helps you wake up refreshed. For gut health, their glutathione supports digestion and reduces bloating. Symbiotica is one of the most transparent brands out there, never compromising on quality or sourcing. Their products are free from seed oils, preservatives, toxins, and artificial additives, something you can taste and feel in every packet. Go to Symbiotica.com and use code iHeart for 20% off and free shipping. That's Symbiotica.com, code iHeart.
Okay, Eli, what did you want to talk about?
I was really clear. Really clear.
I know.
On him not being allowed in meetings.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, I
seconded.
Okay, guys. I know we're trying to ramp up publicity for the show, and I thought this week, what better way than for me to get us a famous guest?
This hasn't worked in the past for us.
Oh, dude. Seriously, what is that smell? What is that smell?
I know our other shows are atheisty, so I figure, hey, what better way to boost this one than one of the 4 horsemen of atheism?
Wow. Wait, really?
Yeah.
Wow, who'd you get? Harris? Is it Harris?
He could have got Dawkins. None of us are women.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's like old grass. Dennett, dude, that's amazing. Dan is awesome. He's like the...
No.
What do you mean?
I don't understand what...
Ta-da! It's Hitch!
Oh, Jesus, no.
Say,
Dude, we are so screwed.
Who's Hitch? Come on, guys. This week is the Cadaver Synod. It's perfect.
We're CJ Whirlwind. How did I end up CJ? I'm garbage. I will die.
Oh, come on,
garbage.
guys. Come on.
Hitch slap. God is not
Don't
great.
slap me with the dead body of my heroes.
Ugh, if I had a nickel.
What is happening? Will somebody tell me who this guy is? I have no idea what's going on.
It was Christopher Hitchens.
Christopher, the kid with the bear?
Welcome and hello to Citation Needed. Hey, turns out that is as hard to say as Eli makes it look. The podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts because this is the internet, and that's how it works now. I'm No Illusions, and I'll be acting in the role of the Crypt Keeper this week, but you can't have a tale of terror without a frightening cast of characters, and boy, do I have a plethora of those. First up, the Wolfmen and Frankenstein of podcasting, Tom and Cecil.
Now, I'm going to presume in this one that I'm the Frankenstein here, not because I can't grow a proper beard, but because I, too, have created things hell-bent on my destruction. It's kids. Am I right? Huh? Kids? Anyone? No, that's just me.
And I'm the werewolf because I mutilated a little old lady late last night. I assure you that was a one-off.
It's Chicago and you're white, Cecil. Doesn't matter. You're in the clear. And hey, there are rules. There are rules and regulations. And, of course, also joining us tonight, my 2 favorite bloodsuckers, Heath Edwright and Eli Bosnick.
You know what I've been getting into recently? Scabs.
Yeah,
they're like wet and dry at the same time. Wet and dry, like combo. You know what I'm saying? It's fun times.
You make a couple of payday loans to your business partners, and the name calling just starts.
I
just wanna throw that
didn't
out
even use
there.
anything anti-Semitic. So, I mean, I feel like I'm owed some credit here, Eli. Come on. Now, before we dig into today's subject, I'd like to take a moment to thank our patrons, specifically Cynthia, who suggested this week's topic in the July suggestion box. If you'd like to learn how to join their ranks, be sure to stick around to the end of the show, unless, of course, the zombie hordes have already broken through the barricade, in which case go to patreon.com/citationpod and give whatever you aren't leaving to your family. And with that out of the way, tell us, Tom, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event will we be talking about today?
That would be the Cadaver Synod. Synod.
I think
Synod.
you nailed it all 3 times.
Is that right?
Yeah. It rotates. You have to change it each time. Every third, you get it.
It's on the moon.
Nope.
Well, now I feel like this is the wrong question here. Eli, you chose this subject, I assume, to put your own actions in context. So are you ready to look better by comparison?
I'm just saying, I never put any of mine on trial. Boom!
Oh, So tell us, Eli, how do you decide which words you're going to capitalize when you write the script? And also, what is the Cadaver Synod?
It's every third. It's like Synod. You just whatever you want.
I just let the keys take me away. I'm like Stevie Wonder. The Cadaver Synod is the time the Catholic Church dug up a dead pope and put him on trial for perjury, Noah.
All right, I quit the show trial.
You don't know the half of it, Heath.
I'm only a little aroused right now, just a little. The only one. I'm not there.
Well, no, I mean, I'm around 8:30. I'm around 8:30. And not just because my balls get me there for free, like a true 8:30. True 8:30. I still quit, but I'm listening. I'm listening.
All right, Eli, it looks like Heath's going to need it, so you want to give us some background?
Yeah. Okay, so Heath has a different sleep schedule than me, so whenever I text him, he'd be asleep, and that sort of turned into the joke of
Eli,
him quitting.
Eli, I meant about the dug-up dead guy.
Oh, well, they are similar stories, Noah, so you're wrong to shut one down, but you are correct. Some background would help.
Yeah, this is why I'm the host on our show.
For now, going to dig you up, take your hosting duties.
What?
I like that
What did you
presumes
say?
that you'll outlive Noah. And I don't.
It's fun to pretend. It's fun to pretend.
My fucking retirement plan is smoking. He might.
I feel like that's a race neither one of you is going to win. I'm just.
So the origins of the Cadaver Synod have two major influences. First, the fact that late 9th century, early 10th century Italy looked a lot like the late season episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you couldn't swing a dead pope without hitting a computer-generated dragon, right?
Weird thing to do.
Thanks for giving away the entire theme of my upcoming rap video, Cecil. Jesus. It's supposed to be a surprise.
I don't know. No, I just want to chime in and say, really impressed by the dancing in that video.
Thank you.
Clearly, all those torch shops came in really handy.
They did.
Like a broken metronome, just click, 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 click.
He's got that upside down one, you know? Like,
Yeah.
against the doorway.
Thank you for noticing.
And then he falls on the table.
And secondly, that's because the popes were really sticking at this time to the whole this guy talks to God thing. So when one pope did something you didn't like, you didn't get to be just like, never mind what Steve said. You had to put him on trial or burn him and shit, which turns out very hard to do if he's dead.
It seems like that would make it easier, but you read the article, whatever you say.
Easier to catch at least, right? You know, it's not going to get away.
I mean, you let them dry up a little and go like matchlight popes. There's like matchlight popes. There's really only one way to find out and settle this. Like, don't we have like a leftover pope still laying around nobody's using anymore?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Oh,
Well, we have dead ones too. They're not using the dead one.
Yeah, they're not using the other ones, and they're not using a live one.
Yeah, right. So we have a
He's just
control.
hanging out.
we can run this. This is science, guys.
Absolutely. And it's just being a good originalist. We should really be doing more puppet stuff with Scalia's corpse, is what I'm saying. That's how he intended it.
All right. Now, obviously, you had Cecil and me at late 9th century, early 10th century Italy. So why don't you lay a little of that history on us, Eli?
I will, Noah. And don't worry, Heath and Tom. If I can work dating women with much younger bodies than mine in to keep your attention, I will.
If the body gets too old, they start to smell weird.
See, Eli.
Remember that middle school cafeteria smell? Sorry, what were we talking about?
Jean Benet Ramsey. So our main character, and soon-to-be corpse defended, is a pope called Formosus.
Voted class of 858's most likely to have his name co-opted for a future X-Men villain. Formosus.
Formosus sounds like a sexually transmitted disease. Oh man, Eli just called. I have to get tested for formosus again. God, I have got to stop eating ass on the first date. That's not working.
I'm pretty
for me.
sure the ass germs are still there on the second date. If they were there, I don't think that changes.
Not if you clean your plate.
Now we know how Cecil gets a second date. Anyway, while everyone tries not to dwell on the image of Cecil eating ass,
Why would you want to not?
I can't actually reach it. My beard stops.
Oh, like sitting on a Brillo pad, like one of those shoe shiners they have at a nice hotel. You just push the button and lower yourself onto it. Anyway, Formosus became Bishop of Porto in 864 during the pontificate of Pope Nicholas I. He's the sports reference that means good, I'll fill this in later, of bishop.
I don't understand anything that you just said. That you added no clarity to the situation.
Me neither, Tom. Me neither.
Wait. He's the black person of bishoping? Is that what you meant?
Yes. Got it. Nailed it.
That's a positive, I'm saying. They're good at sports.
Yep. He is the Martin Luther King Jr. of sports.
I feel okay. I don't know if he was
all right.
A sports guy?
Of sports. He doesn't sports pope.
Okay.
Nothing in the rule book says a pope can't play sports. Airbud 7 takes a swift downward turn. Anyway, Formosus carried out missionary activity among the Bulgarians.
I love that Pornhub channel.
Yeah. No, if I'm going Bulgarian, I want to see her bent over a pommel horse with a ball gag shoved up her ass, but you do you.
Oh, no. You're thinking missionary position. I'm talking about drowning in the baptismal.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, that's good.
That's better.
That's good.
I have questions about Tom's last sentence. I have.
Do you? I mean, I thought he was pretty clear. It's pretty visceral, actually.
Painted a picture.
It just seems like a weird use for a ball gag. Does it? Because it can't. It's meant for a head, so it's not going to go around the hip. I don't want to get into it. So
it just with enough lube, you can get anything.
Yeah,
into
but
it.
it's about around the body. It's not about inside. It's about around. It just seems like a waist to strap. She's walking around looking like an octopus.
I feel like I said, you do you.
How do the handles of the pommel horse come in? I feel like that should be involved.
Good question. Good question. The show is about this
You
now.
need a lot of chalk.
But Formosus was so successful as a missionary that they actually requested him for their bishop, which is a huge deal. But the problem was during the Second Council of Nicaea, where they worked out all the unimportant shit, they decided a bishop couldn't leave his see, so he had to say no.
Yeah, but he could have if Bulgaria was diagonal to Porto.
I'm confused.
Like the same color.
Porto. I'm confused. Which musketeer are we talking about right now?
The fifth one.
Fun side fact, the First Council of Nicaea is where Santa slapped a guy for saying Jesus wasn't magic. That shit's real. Google it. Google that shit.
That's way more historically accurate than Kirk Cameron's retelling, I guess. So, sure.
Oh, more historically inaccurate than Kirk Cameron. So that's more realistic than somebody throwing away their computer monitor so they don't jerk off to porn anymore. Right? Also, I'm jerking off right now.
Stop that.
You gave
Just
me an
audio,
iPad.
right? Just the audio, no monitor. I do that too. I like to masturbate as I fall asleep. It's like, you listen to Scrubs that you've seen before. It's kind of like that.
Jerk off to Scrubs that you've seen before.
That's what I meant.
I did just Google this, Eli. It is. It's just Santa slapping Faye Dunaway. He's the Father, slap. He's the Son, slap. He's the Holy Spirit, slap.
Still more historically accurate than Kirk Cameron's retelling. Okay.
And now I agree with Cecil. Love that Pornhub channel.
Told you.
Love it.
Also agree. Chinatown channels are the best. Absolutely.
Guys, based on
question.
Scotland, we should check that Chinatown channels isn't a slur, because he sometimes throws them out that we're not. He's got the slur deep cuts, so let's just give that a Google before we put that on the air. So in 875, shortly afterwards, here's the first weird name, by the way, in the story. Charles the Bald's imperial coronation, Formosus fled Rome in fear of the then Pope John VIII.
Yeah, Pope John Erectile Dysfunction the Eighth.
That's why there's no ninth for that. We should return to naming conventions like this. I like that. Like there's a block party or something. You just introduced around and like, oh, here's Phil the Premature Johnson and Howard the Goiter Simmons and Alexander Anal Fisher Stevens. You really get to know people.
Yeah, I mean, it would have saved me and Howard a lot of staring. That's all I'm saying.
And me and Phil and Alex would have done a different formation. Absolutely.
Everybody wins. That's all I'm saying. Now, Formosus runs away because John VIII was mad because the Bulgarians loved Formosus so much that they wouldn't take another bishop. And John VIII took this as a sign that Formosus was like corrupting them and conspiring against him and the king, who, if I haven't mentioned yet, was king and still allowed himself to be called Charles the Bald. Side note, still confused about that. So the Pope excommunicates Formosus, and 2 years later, he makes it official.
I don't understand. Makes it official? How? What, do he wear his varsity jacket to the big game? The fuck does that even mean? Is there an unofficial excommunication?
Yeah, you post pictures of you excommunicating on Facebook, but you don't change your relationship status. Heath gets it.
Do I?
Yeah, I don't.
It's complicated. It's complicated.
Facebook and Heath gets it belong in the same paragraph. But anyway, you were saying about excommunication?
Right. So this is super important. According to some reports, Formosus was actually there for his excommunication. And according to those reports, he was like, "Oh, I'm super sorry. I'll never, ever be Pope." But that is very likely the result of the end of this story and is probably not true.
What's the big deal? Like, if he doesn't Pope right or whatever, he can just go back to being the Emperor of Star Wars, right?
I was part of Sith Youth. It's different.
It's very different.
It's like a club.
Exactly. It's like the Boy Scouts. So
Make lanyards and lampshades and arts and crafts.
What they made them out of isn't important.
I got a drawer full of teeth. Great.
Awesome. So, sure enough, John VIII dies in December of 882. Formosus reassumes his bishopdom at Porto, where he remained until, surprise, he's elected pope on 6th of October, 891, which matters. Which matters because for a lot of people, this was evidence that he was, in fact, trying to overthrow John VIII and that he broke his promise to never, ever be pope, at least according to the people who are going to dig him up and yell the accusation at his corpse in like 2 minutes.
All right, wait. So he was trying to overthrow a guy who died? And now people are mad at him, and they're going to dig him up and then be mad at his The fuck is going on here?
All right, well, as I understand it, right now we have a living pope whose last boss didn't like him very much. So when do we get to the part where they dig up a dead guy here?
My boss hates me. I can relate. Cecil, when I die, can you promise you'll scream at my corpse?
Just isn't that every episode of Cognitive Dissonance?
Pretty much. Well, Noah, we're getting there. Don't rush me.
You wrote this script for me. You could have written me a different line to ask, Eli.
All right. No need to be meta, Noah.
You are being meta. You wrote this line. The line I'm saying now.
Eli's address is and Tom is
Not anymore. No.
Doesn't matter. All that's bleeped out anyway.
And with confidence that Eli's address and Tom's secret are thoroughly beeped out, we're all going to pinch Eli a little bit while you enjoy our interstitial music, and we move to apropos of nothing.
Come in.
You called, my lord?
Oh, Eric, come in.
Yes, your holiness.
So, how's it going?
Okay, I guess. My daughter just turned 4.
4? Wow. Crazy. They grow up so fast.
Ah, tell me about it. I'm 13, so...
Yeah, totally. Totes. So, anyway, Eric. Can I call you Eric?
Yeah, sure. I think you're God, so sure.
Right,
yeah.
You do. I forgot about that. So, here's the thing, E-Smash. Got this synod coming up.
Synod?
It's synod. Fancy word for trial. Don't worry about it.
I see.
And I'm trying this dead pope, and there's, like, nobody to answer the questions on his behalf, you see.
And
I was thinking maybe, you could...
Me?
Yeah, you get in there, you move the jaw around a little bit, wave the arms, guilty, bing, bang, boom.
I'm not super comfortable puppeting a long dead pope.
Okay, well, spoiler alert, E-Dog, not going to be a pope at the end of the trial, but if you don't want to help me, I mean, it's fine, I am God, but...
No, I'll help.
Good. Now, about halfway through, you're going to make it look like he gets a super embarrassing boner.
And we're back, and with Eli thoroughly pinched, we're ready to hear more about papal schemes.
Sorry I cried so much, guys. Sorry I cried so much.
You cried a lot.
A lot.
And not necessary for you to beg either. I mean, we were going to get to the nipples eventually.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and we get it. You have feeling in your nipples. There's no need to showboat. Check your live nipple privilege. Not everyone has it so easy.
So, as I was saying, once he's Pope, Formosus crowned Lambert of Spoleto co-ruler of the Holy Roman Empire in 892. The problem was Lambert's father, second silly name incoming, you guys ready? Guy the Third of Spoleto, seems lazy, just saying, a little lazy, had already been crowned by John the Eighth, which makes Guy the Third not happy.
Did he just have like a bunch of crowns and a t-shirt gun or something?
Right? Actually, if everyone reaches under their chairs, you get a mitre and you get a mitre. Everyone gets a mitre.
I don't understand how any
That was
of this
Popra.
works. Like
Oprah.
Thank you.
I don't understand how any of this works. Did he make it to the back row at the Vatican? Is that how he get crowned? How this works now?
So when you're infallible, you can just, I'm saying there's no rules at this point, right? Up is purple now is in his quiver if he wants. So
I feel like Lambert and Guy and James Comey are all about to get fired or something. Is that what's about to happen?
Pretty close, Heath, pretty close. So, afraid that everyone in that family is just going to be mad at him, in 893, like a teenage girl, Formosus invites the Carolingian, funny name number 3, Alnulf, the Duke of Carinthia, to invade Italy and receive the imperial crown instead.
Jesus, it's like fucking ring toss with these crowns, for Christ's sake.
Gonna crown you in a goldfish.
Exactly.
What does an invasion invitation look like? Like, do you get an and guest for your army?
You can't get you no matter what though. I don't think that you can get the save the date because that's like a spoiler alert. You know what I mean?
Usually you get a guest, or if you don't, you ask like a good boyfriend. Heath gets it. Again, Heath gets that.
Some of my friends are poor. And it's complicated.
This is a very long tail marketed episode, folks. So, fun side fact number 2 and funny name number 4, Arnulf would later overthrow his uncle, Emperor Charles the Fat, and become the king of East.
Really?
Yeah. And become
Emperor.
and that would make him the king of East Francia, which again, I think members of our cast who had the nickname the Monk far into their adult life will appreciate.
All right.
An emperor named Charles the Fat.
This is a doxy episode. Doxy. We're going to have some beeping again, Cecil, just a heads up. Needed more pinching, though. More pinching, less doxy.
I said we'd get to the nipples. Don't rush me.
Very defensive about that. Very. So back to the story. Sadly for Formosus, Arnulf's invasion failed, but Guy III dies shortly afterwards. So Formosus tells Arnulf, like, hey, try again in 895. And early the next year, what? Yeah, he's like a second shot. It's got like a life.
Mulligan. Invasion
exactly,
Mulligan.
Yeah. So early the next year, Arnulf succeeds, crosses the Alps, enters Rome, and Formosus crowns him Holy Roman Empire.
Jesus, did he just have a fucking full-time crown smith at this point?
What do you want, his number? I think you're jealous.
I already have 2.
I feel like I could have just flashed my moobs and he'd throw me a crown like it's Mardi Gras beads. I got lots of beads in New Orleans.
All right. Now, Eli, I don't say this lightly. At this point, even I'm getting tired of the political machinations of a guy named Arnulf. And I, as Eli has written in here for me, care about the moon going behind the sun's shadow. I'm going to leave that. And instead, I'm going to say, make with a dead guy, bro.
Okay. So Arnulf and Formosus die within months of each other in 896. And Formosus was succeeded by Pope Boniface VI, who dies himself 2 weeks later.
Not a great year to have any of these guys on your fantasy team, but also, incidentally, all of Europe had these guys on their fantasy team. Just
put in your celebrity death pool, though. Well, okay, so at least now we have an abundance of dead people to choose from, I guess.
That's true, we do. The problem is Lambert and his mother, who it turns out
Lambert?
Lambert and his mother, who it turns out were not mad, enter Rome around the time that Stephen VI becomes Pope, and they're like, hey, I'm here to be Holy Roman Emperor like the guy before you promised me. And Stephen's like, yeah, well, he's dead. And I assume everyone just kind of like stood around shifting foot to foot until someone was like, you want to dig him up and make you Holy Roman Empire?
Dig him up and fuck him and make him Holy Roman. I mean, just the ones we both said.
Yeah,
dig him up
good.
and make me Holy Roman Empire.
And fuck him.
Emperor. Did you say fuck him too?
I said fuck him.
Then that too. If we both said fuck, I just want to be clear. Did we both say fuck him? We did.
I was afraid that you would be mad.
I thought you didn't say. Okay, no. So we're fucking him. That's locked in.
I have love for you.
They're fucking digging this guy up. Man, fucking 9th century Europe really had its finger on the pulse of prop comedy, didn't it? Emperor Carrot Top would have killed it.
Can you imagine the poncho section, though? I mean, it's like high school biology class. Just
Wait. Describe your high school biology class. It sounds squirtier than mine. What was happening there?
You didn't dissect the Pope too?
Should have gone to Catholic school. Should have gone to Catholic school.
Heath, I feel like my whole life is squirtier than yours. But
Squirtier than yours for your guys' biography, your co-biography. Like Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger and twins. But you're both Danny DeVito. So the question of who suggested digging up the dead guy has actually been way more difficult to determine than it would be for, say, members of this podcast.
I will stop when they catch me and not a minute sooner.
Experience proved that's earlier than Eli would stop. Anyway, why was it difficult in this case, Eli?
Okay, so up until the early 20th century, everyone assumed that Lambert and his mother forced the then Pope Stephen VI to do it and to reassert his claim on the imperial crown. And maybe also get some revenge on the dead guy who had promised to go to prom with 2 girls as a bonus.
Well, I just want to be clear here. If you're schlepping around my fetid, putrescent corpse, I'm the one getting revenge, right? I don't know this now.
Or maybe everyone's enjoying it. Could be a win-win. Win.
Sorry, fair. But if there's revenge getting, I'm just saying.
Right. That's fair. And that theory that it was the Lamberts who made the Pope do it makes sense. However, in 1932, historian Joseph Durr, funny names, pointed out that Lambert was at the Ravenna Council of 898, where the decrees of the Cadaver Synod were revoked, and agreed to them. So if Lambert had encouraged the trial in the first place, it doesn't really make sense historically that he would later go to the nullification and that nobody at that nullification would be like, hey man, wasn't that your idea in the first place?
Oh, yeah, that does make perfect sense. Unlike the rough draft of this script, which is inscrutable gibberish.
I could read it.
It's like a mystery. As he's reading it, you're like, oh, that's what he was saying there. That's what that word was.
It's exact. I'm like, oh, well, I guess if you don't punctuate anything in every sentence. Fuck, yeah, all right.
It's just one long sentence with random capitalizations. All right. Well, Eli, if I've told you and Tom once, I've told you 1,000 times. I don't care whose idea it was to dig up the body. I want to hear what happened to it afterwards.
Okay, so on to the Synod itself. So probably around January 897, the new Pope, Stephen VI, ordered Formosus to be removed from his tomb and brought to the papal court for judgment.
Okay, so what would the dimensions of a tomb like that be in 897? Cecil?
Ooh, good question.
Now, do you want that in metric or do you want...
I would like that in metric.
Okay, here it is. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, Graham.
So, with the corpse propped up on a throne, a deacon was appointed to answer for the deceased pontiff.
I gotta say, I feel a certain kinship. Although when I'm inevitably judged dead and rotting on the throne, I suspect I'll have more in common with Elvis than Pope Formica or whatever the fuck his name is.
I feel like a spatula would be needed if it were a hot day. You're just gonna...
Is that why there's a spatula in your bathroom, Eli? I was using it wrong. I've been using it wrong this whole time.
How are you using that?
I feels like not
I
the
could die at any moment.
not the right way. I don't want to say.
Well, some of us might always die on the toilet, Heath, so weird braggy thing for you to say. Anyways, Formosus was accused, again, his dead body was accused of transmigrating seas in violation of canon law, of perjury, and of serving as a bishop while actually a layman because, again, he totally was there for his excommunication and promised to never be a priest again.
Laws must have changed in 500 years. Columbus was never put on trial for transmigrating seas. Transmig. Give me Garrison fucking Keeler money right now.
See, so if you want the Keeler money, you know what you have to do. Or what Tom has to do anyway.
Right.
I will turn that shit into smoke rings and blow it across the room like a hipster in a vape shop for that kind of money.
For Garrison Keeler money, I'll put my face into a bowl of it at a restaurant and blow like George Costanza. I don't care. Cum. We're talking about cum, everybody.
Yes, in case.
I meant a bowl of cum, not soup. Or cum soup. It could be soup. Yeah.
Strong images. Strong. Gonna stay with me for a while. Gonna be hard to think about other things for a little bit. So eventually the corpse was found guilty because that deacon who had to answer for him did a shitty job. And sources say that after the corpse had been stripped of its papal vestments, Stephen then cut off the 3 fingers of the right hand that had been used in life for blessings.
What? This is why you never go with the public defender. This is why.
I mean, to be fair, I'd have a lot more negative shit to say about this guy if he was like somehow awesome at this, you know? I have a question.
He just sticks his arm up in there, starts doing jalapeno on a stick, and he's killing it.
Great grandfather of Jeff Dunham.
You got
the world's best comedian. So after that, he formally invalidates all of Formosus's acts and ordinations, including, ironically, his own ordination, because Stephen VI had been a bishop under Formosus.
Jeff Dunham guy just walks over to the prosecutor's table, starts questioning Pope Steve. Can a layperson be Pope? Because now you're... I thought this was Italy. Are we not in Italy? Can you be Pope?
So finally, the body was interred in a graveyard for foreigners, only to be dug up once again, tied to weights, and cast into the Tiber River.
Did they actually troll with it, or did you just fish from the shore?
I was actually picturing like a chum bucket situation. You know what I'm saying? Jaws pops out of the water.
Just once, I want someone to play with my body as much as they are playing with this fucking corpse.
Message received, Tom. Loud and clear. Wink. Nudge. 4 fingers. 5 fingers. Wink. Got it.
Whoa.
Fist
yes.
All right. So did everybody live happily ever after from that point, Eli?
They did not. As you can imagine, Noah, hearing someone dug up a pope not once, but twice and threw it in a river near where you lived pissed a lot of people off.
I don't even like hearing about it now. Yeah.
This water tastes like Pope. Does anyone else notice this water tastes like Pope?
Just trying to fit one of those big hats into a Brita filter. Just So people were so mad, in fact, that rumors
flopping around in the water wheel. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, right.
All the kids are floating on it.
You followed me home, Mom. Can I keep it?
Oh, God.
So they were so mad, in fact, that rumors circulated that Formosus's body, after washing up on the banks of the Tiber, had begun to perform miracles.
Huh. Washed up. Miracles. Kind of like Tim Tebow.
I feel like the miracle at this point is that there's even any body left. You know, like if this guy had been in Fargo, they'd be standing at the other end of the wood chipper, piecing them together like a jigsaw puzzle. I got an edge piece. Got to start with the borders.
So this gets so bad that a public uprising leads to Stephen being deposed and imprisoned. While in prison in July or August of 1897, Stephen is strangled.
And then while he's dead, he escaped from Shawshank. Right?
Yeah, he had a poster of Pope Formula 409 on his wall to hide the tunnel.
I feel like the Boggs character is way more interesting in this one, right?
Interesting is the.
Is it gay if the guy's dead?
He is.
Does that count? I feel like that's
Not
just
as
A.
gay.
Solid.
Yeah.
These are the questions. These are the questions we ask that Garrison Keillor won't. He takes emails. Ask Garrison Keillor. So, in hopes of not getting strangled like his predecessor,
hope he
Pope
gets an email
Theodore
about
II. He might. Pope Theodore II convened a different synod that annulled the Cadaver Synod, rehabilitated Formosus, and ordered that his body, which had been recovered from the Tiber, be reburied in St. Peter's Basilica in pontifical vestments.
This guy's body is like a receipt you didn't think you needed.
Hey, man, did you blow your nose in that? Yes, we'll say that's mucus. Good call. Yep.
Yeah, fuck you, Best Buy. Fuck you. No, this is my Fitbit from home. I made this at home. Fuck you. You have no way of looking this up in the system. What if I started to steal it, huh? I think all of a sudden you'd find cameras in your big, shitty store. I hope you have to wear a blue shirt forever. I hope you die in that blue shirt. Heather.
And then they dig up your body and put you on trial.
So in 898, John the Ninth also nullifies the Cadaver Synod. It's just like the cool thing to do, apparently, conveying two synods, one in Rome, one in Ravenna, which confirmed the findings of Theodore's second synod, ordered the acta of the Cadaver Synod destroyed, excommunicated 7 cardinals who were involved in the Cadaver Synod, and prohibited any future trial of a dead person. That's a rule now.
Good. That's an important rule. The right of habeas corpus. I like it. Strong.
Oh, man, and to think until just a few minutes ago, I didn't even know the word synod.
But here's the crazy postscript. Pope Sergius III, who was pope from 904 to 911, who as bishop had taken part in the Cadaver Synod, sees everyone get in trouble, and as a co-judge, overturned the rulings of Theodore II and John IX, reaffirming Formosus' conviction, and had a laudatory epitaph inscribed on the tomb of Stephen VI, the pope who did the Cadaver Synod in the first place.
Triple stamp to double stamp. He actually did it. That's good stuff.
I was thinking about the tombstone. I want a chalkboard tombstone. You know, so when people come like later to make etchings of it, they just smear it around and feel terrible forever. I ruined it.
I love any papal bull that also says, also tell the future he was a dick. Tell the future. I really didn't know.
And that is where the article ends. So I assume the standing position of the Catholic Church is that the dead guy had it coming. You can't do it anymore, but that one had it coming.
All right, so if you had to summarize what you learned in one sentence, what would that sentence be, Eli?
If you're the king, you should get to pick your own nickname.
Good call. I would be Noah the Pretty Good Sized. Pretty good sized. All right, well, now that you're an expert on all things Catholic, are you ready to face a round of questions from our panel?
Ready as Lambert entering Rome, Noah.
There you go.
All right, I'll go first. Eli, true or false? My favorite erotic film about the Cadaver Synod is called Mung Jury.
Oh, Jesus.
A, true. B, false. C, none of the above.
It's true.
Sorry, it's actually false. Not a real movie. Made it up for this question. This is a bit we do where we make things up.
Got it. This was supposed to change things originally. It's all come apart.
All falling apart.
All right, Eli. While it isn't legal to put dead people on trial, what person, if dug up, would make for a wonderful TV court drama if tried posthumously? A, Steve Irwin.
He'd be so excited.
B, Anna Nicole Smith.
Gross.
C, Jean-Benet Ramsey.
Not really dead.
Or D, Jeff Sessions.
Definitely. You see, you tried to trick me with the C, but she's not really dead. If you'd let me do the episode, I'd explain. So I'm going to go with D, Jeff Sessions.
That's true.
2 points.
All right. While the Cadaver Synod may represent the most gruesome act by a pope, but probably doesn't, it's far from the most fucked up thing a pope has ever done. So, which of the following actual historical events represents the most fucked up papal action? Was it A, selling the papacy to another bishop for $2 million worth of gold? B, inspiring that crappy Showtime series? C, the Crusades? Or D, heading up an international child rape cabal and refusing to extradite the offenders while fighting to keep condoms out of Africa and gay couples out of each other?
It's obvious. It's the Showtime series.
Yeah, it was. Well done, Eli. I thought I was going to nail you with that last one.
All right.
I always think I'm going to nail you, and then I don't. It's sad.
Stop getting separate rooms.
All right, trying dead people for taking jobs they got elected to is fucking stupid, and only a backward, ignorant people who just weren't at all fucking civilized yet would even suggest such nonsense. So who are these fuckwits' current living relatives? A, bogans. B, carnies. C, people who drink eggnog. Hey, it's gross. Or D, Presbyterians.
Okay, so bogans is a made-up word. So is the last one, Presbyterians. We're not the food show. That's your show. So I'm going to go with B, carnies. We're going to carnies. We don't do the foods.
No, wrong. Our show is the only one that counts. It is C, people who drink eggnog. Damn it! That's fucking disgusting.
Damn it.
That shit is gross.
Okay, Tom, well, you stumped Eli first in the script anyway, which means
I didn't.
which means you're going to be a host for next week, and for some reason you still get to pick next week's essayist, which is weird. This is a weird system that we have.
I'm going to choose Heath because he suggested more pinching, and the Screaming of the Lambs has nothing on Eli's pinching.
Similar noises, though. Similar noises.
Just a volume difference.
All right, and I guess now we can toss it over to Cecil's wife, Sarah, for last week's Twitter answer and this week's Twitter question.
Thanks, Noah. Last week's question was, which host could have swung the Battle of Agincourt, and how would they have done it? Our winner is at Viadon13. Heath Enright would set up a bar between the lines, distract everyone with his mad juggling skills, and get them all too drunk to fight. And this week's question is, if you could dig anyone up from history to answer for their crimes, who would they be and why? Just tweet or share this post on Facebook with your answer to earn a chance to be next week's winner. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sarah. All right, well, for Eli, Tom, Cecil, and Heath, I'm Noah Illusions. Thanking you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week, and by then, Heath will be an expert on something else.
Eugenics.
Between now and then, if you'd like to indulge in the verbal acrobatics of Eli, Heath, and myself, you can do so at godawfulmovies.com, The Skeptocrat, and The Scathing Atheist. And if you'd like to enjoy the linguistic pratfalls of Tom and Cecil, you can do so on their show, Cognitive Dissonance, of which Eli is now a full partner. No, he isn't. He just got to write the outro this week and also wrote that part of it. And if you'd like to help keep this show going, you can make a per-episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod or leave us a 5-star review everywhere you can. If you want to get in touch with us, check out our past episodes, connect with us on social media, or check out the show notes. Be sure to check out citationpod.com. And remember, you should always do a thorough last-minute edit when Eli writes shit for you to say.
Pope Formosus, you stand accused of transmigrating seas in violation of canon law, of perjury, and of serving as a bishop while actually a layman. How do you plead?
I plead not guilty.
Okay, wait, hold on.
What?
Deacon Eli, I told you just talk normal. Don't do a
Okay,
thing.
sorry. Let's do it again. Take
right,
it back.
all right.
Take it back.
Pope Formosus, how do you plead?
I'm not guilty. Look at me. I'm Pope Formosus. I'm all sassy.
You're doing a voice again. Don't move his head around like that either. Like, just stand next to him and answer normal. Just Answer normal and don't do anything.
That's going to be weird because people are going to want to see his mouth move. They're going to think,
don't touch him. That's making it worse.
Okay, I don't like to give notes, but you are sucking the realism right out of this whole production. Can I give you?
God damn it! Can we just do it again?
Sure.
Roll it back one more time. All right. Yeah. How do you plead?
Not guilty. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Can you stop? It's not Bill Clinton. It's Pope Bill Clinton is still alive. That doesn't even make sense.
Is he?
God damn. Okay, one more time. Just do it normal.
Okay.
How do you plead?
How the fuck do you think I plead, you fucking asshole? I plead the fucking fifth, bro.
Marky Mark voice? Really? I quit the Synod.
No, come back. Marky Mark is the perfect voice for him. Hey, check this out. Look what I can do to his eye socket. Oh, no. What are you doing? Leave my eye socket alone. Oh, no. Get the fuck away from me. I beat up a Chinese guy.